Hi everyone, let's talk about Fliptown, which I've just done 2 full playthroughs for. You can watch either of them if you'd like to see the game in action. The game is here, you can see it, but if you'd like to see me playing it, it's in those videos. This is just what I think about it, if you were interested in that. If you're not, there's those playing videos. Opinion free, almost. So yes, Fliptown. It's on Kickstarter right now. This is a prototype. It should be pretty representative of the final stuff, but yeah, it's probably going to be slightly different and slightly improved and stuff. Check out the Kickstarter page for all the details on that. So, designed by Stephen Aramini, really loved Sprawlopolis and Eternal Palace as well, and looking forward to one day playing things like Circle the Wagons and Agropolis and more and more and more. Beautiful artwork by Naomi Farrell. I know that a lot of it is, a standard pack of cards, but even in those normal card faces, it's still got its own style, its own flavour of Fliptown and the face cards, the royalty cards. Yeah, really, really good. And there's a thematic connection with the king cards that you could check out yourself. Just teasing things now. But onto the game itself. So I'm predisposed towards roll and write. I know it's a flip and fill, but kind of the broader family. Roll and write, flip and fill games I absolutely love in general. And yeah, this is the best one I have played, I think, since Hadrian's Wall about a year ago. And one of the best new games, just full stop, that I've played in months, I think. And I've played some pretty fantastic games. Probably every month. I don't know why I'm making glare on the board by playing with it. It does a lot of things that you will be familiar with maybe from other roll and write games, that feeling of kind of just starting off doing little actions later on in the game, especially during the second and third rounds, those small actions still being performed but leading to bigger and bigger combinations as you start to fill in rows, as you start to get to the bigger and better rewards, as you start to fill in all these spaces in your cemetery or get your better rewards towards the end of the trail and stuff. The choice of action is really nice as well, that you've got these 3 cards to choose from. One is going to determine the section of the board that you take your action. One is going to determine the number that you want to take the action. So already it's kind of weighing up the various combinations depending on how many different suits and numbers have come out. The more have come out, the more choice you're going to have. You've got a bit of modification as well if you've got the gold to pay, but then the side thing as well of building up the poker hand is nice, that because it can be really, really lucrative if you can make yourself a nice poker hand, but you've always got to weigh up. You're sometimes at the mercy of the card draw. If you're really going for that royal flush, you're going to have to be fairly lucky that those cards come out. And also, are you giving up actions that could be really, really useful to you? Are you not taking something that could really help you out just to save that card as a poker card? When it comes down to like choosing between 2 pair and 1 pair, the rules probably aren't good enough to give up quite a lucrative action, especially towards the end. Loads of actions will gain you a wanted level, and that's got a nice kind of push your luck system as well, kind of evading the sheriff. There's a card, ominously sitting here throughout the round, ready to punish you if you've done too many nefarious things. You can offset that by kind of having enough gold to bribe the sheriff in general that you don't even need to see what the card was. You just get away with it, whatever that was. But on the other hand, it could have been a card that would have let you get away with it anyway. And often, unless your wanted level gets to a really, really high place, often you can have used your kind of dodgy deeds to earn yourself a load of money to pay off your penalty if you do end up getting arrested. It's all about weighing all of these things up at once. Like many roll and writes, initially you'll need to be told what all of these different sections do, and especially in the town, every single location in the town has its own different thing. But once all of that is laid out, the actual flow of the game is just drawing those 3 cards, making that often quite tough choice between what you are going to do there, and then carrying out the action. There'll be a good number of turns where you will get to combo it into 1 or maybe 2 or maybe more extra actions, depending on how you have kind of organized things, set things up in previous turns. But when it goes off, it's so satisfying, and it happens quite a bit as well. So just the standard game I absolutely loved, but then adding in the kind of the variable setup of the characters is lovely too, giving you different situations to start in and a different special ability, often letting you take extra actions, or sometimes you'll start off with an item that you might have taken a couple of visits to the town to get, and maybe spent some money in a normal circumstance. But the cowbots as well, so you can just play it beating your own score and you'll get ranked on what that score was. But the cowbots, for how simply they act, they're not taking turns but depending if their suit comes up in the lineup, you're at risk if you take a certain action. You know, for Calamity Jane in the playthrough, it was if hearts are in the display and you gain stars, then she's going to steal a card. If spades are in the display when Billy the Kid's out and you take a wanted level, then he's going to steal a card. They are all worth points to the bot at the end of the game, but they're also taking cards out of the deck, making it less likely a particular number or a suit is going to come up, which will affect your actions, and trying to get your poker hand as well. You don't get to see what these cards are, but also depending on the personality that's come out, they will have a preference for the different places on the board. And so if Billy the Kid comes out, and he'll get 4 points at the end of the game for every Badlands thing you didn't circle. So you want to be doing a load of those to offset the points that he'll get, make him earn less. You'll probably end up doing a little bit in each other just because of how things bounce you around in that beautiful combo way, but it's for no real upkeep other than looking out for when they're stealing a card. It's really impressive how from that it adds an extra kind of dimension to your thinking that's, well, I want to do this thing, but then they're going to steal a card, so is the action I'm taking worth it in the end? Is this going to lead to better things, or am I just doing something to get a point and I'm earning the bot, 2-3 points depending on the difficulty that I'm playing? Am I going to this location too much? It's Billy the Kid. They're only getting a point for every town bit I didn't visit, but I'm getting bonuses from this. Maybe it's worth pinballing around. It's so satisfying. It's so good. This is all just based on a prototype that I have. I've only got one board. I haven't played the multiplayer version of it, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to, because I think that Rach will love it as well. Just based on my solo plays, absolutely love this. Even after doing 2 full playthroughs back to back, I was ready to just keep playing it. Can't really speak highly enough of it. I absolutely loved it, but you can see the playthrough for yourself and see if you might click with it, see if you might be intrigued by one of those. I've done one for just the standard game with none of the extras, and then one with the cowbot and the character cards as well, and the Texas Hold'em variant, where you are at the mercy of the cards as well for getting your poker hand. It can sometimes happen that you get nothing. You don't even get a pair, so you get no reward at the end of a round. But you can play a variant where we set aside 2 cards at the start of the round, and kind of Texas Hold'em style, you're allowed to use those 2 cards in your final hand of 5. You can swap a couple out, so you've got a bit more chance of doing something. You've got a couple of cards right from the start that might guide you in building your hand. I like that as well. It makes the poker hand a bit less luck reliant, and maybe gives you something to aim for right from the first turn. It might be influencing the cards that you might want to take. I really enjoyed that as well. But yeah, again, the playthrough is there. Check those out rather than anything that I think. And yeah, if you'd like to see more playthroughs from me, I've done hundreds of them at this point, and there are plenty that you can watch. One will be recommended at the end of this video, I hope, or you can subscribe to the channel. I do them all the time. Thank you very much for watching this one though, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye everyone.